my aunt, who's got the camp at Shabandawan Lake, 60 miles west of Thunder Bay. Well, if you phoned her up and she happened to be in town, and you said, well, where's Don, my Uncle Don? She's going to say, well, he's at the lake. That's the phrase I'm talking about. At the lake. Commonly used. Where are the Wallies right now? It's at summertime. They're at the lake. It's just really funny because during this lifespan as a human, at the lake for the Wallies means Shabandawan Lake. A beautiful, beautiful, unbelievably beautiful lake. And after a lifetime of enjoying God's country, because that's what my Uncle Don Wally calls it, God's country, the beautiful forested and laked lands around Thunder Bay, Ontario. God's country, he called it. At the lake. Shabandawan Lake. Well, unfortunately, for all you fucking people, I'm not talking about Shabandawan Lake. I'm talking about the lake. At the lake. Where's Don Wally now? I don't know. Is he at the lake? Happy hunting ground? Because he was the Great White Hunter. I don't know. He was the head of guidance counseling at Lakeview High School. And before that, he taught woodshop at Lakeview. His father was a miner, Kirkland Lake, Ontario, and Don's story is that his dad died in a mining accident, which left him having to look after his idiot sister. Well, his sister really was an idiot, in the medical definition. Well, she was brain damaged as a child by scarlet fever, an ancient disease. Well, you look at the woman, she was a basket case, beyond a basket case. Well, she lived at the OH, the Ontario Psychiatric Hospital, also known as the Boulevard Hotel, the enormous Ontario government building close to Boulevard Lake in Thunder Bay, currently closed. But that building should be repurposed right now for emergency shelter. Because in Toronto, when it's cold, they open up emergency shelters for homeless people to go inside so they don't freeze to death. Well, I've seen people in the past year camping in Thunder Bay as homeless people in a tent. Try Mibic Creek. So clearly we've got a huge building, unused, and we've got a problem about people that need a place to stay out of the cold. Why the fuck is that building shut? Who the fuck are your political leaders who control the keys to that facility? Why the fuck aren't they doing anything about the homeless problem? Or the emergency shelter problem? Because we know every year, Shelter House, that old dump that was built, 40 or 50 years ago, is a ramshackle old piece of junk. It needs to be rebuilt. But in the meantime, seriously, it goes on year after year and year, and city council is like, we'll give you a donation or whatever. How much fucking money do you want to spend, John Phillis, on an indoor soccerplex? Everyone knows John Phillis. If you don't, then you should. Because he's a prominent city businessman, a go-getter. I can't help you out. Sorry. Because he is. Well, if we don't know who's got the keys to that facility, the people of Thunder Bay don't know how to open that facility, and we don't. We don't know who has the keys to it. We don't. Ask Tracy Buckler. Because she was the last occupant of that building. St. Joseph's Care Group. Well, I'm telling you again and again, why do you want to spend so much money on an indoor soccerplex when the homeless shelter is a ramshackle old fire trap? And they tell you all the time in the wintertime that there's not enough beds there, and they're throwing mats on the floor for people to sleep on mats. Like from gym class in Churchill. How would you like to sleep on that and, be, I don't know, pushing 60? John Phyllis, what do you think? Because this is the Canadian motto, isn't it? The social safety net? Well, there ain't one. And Patty Hydu, when she was running that as executive director, she opened a bar. She opened a bar in Shelter House, and it was on CKPR News. Well, I don't know. So what have you opened up? A permanent booze can. No wonder that area is what is it? The dead zone. Well, I don't know. You got all these people who went to university for socialist studies, and nobody's got an idea of what needs to happen. I just told you, that place needs to be replaced. And in the meantime, you've got the Boulevard Hotel sitting vacant with all kinds of rooms that you could put homeless people into out of the cold and out of the rain. Out of the thunder and the wet. And it's sitting there vacant, and nobody knows how to open that building. Because you don't know, and I don't know. It's the Byzantine Canadian government. You try and figure out. It's officially owned by the province of Ontario. Who the fuck are you going to call? Judith Monteith? Because I send her emails and she doesn't respond to my emails. The office doesn't even give you out of the office. Nothing. It's a dead letter office. So that woman is dead in the head. So who are you going to talk to in order to get, because that's the way it is. So in Thunder Bay Free, well, once you kick out Ontario, you kick out Canada, and you kick out City Hall, well, I don't know. We're going to have the locksmiths go over there and open it up. The old-fashioned way. You have to break in and claim it. Because your taxpayer money or your grandparents' taxpayer money paid for that institution. And it's a perfectly good building, and we've got a problem. Replacing Shelter House. I don't know. Stopgap measure until you build another one. You've got the Salvation Army one, that building on Cumberland Street that looks great, but nobody bothered to furnish it or give it operating funds. So it's a big white elephant, a big concrete shell, and nothing on the inside. Why do you do half-assed jobs, Thunder Bay? Because you put the government in charge of it, and that's what the government gave you. And how much money do you really think that Salvation Army raises at Red Kettle Campaign at Christmas? Enough to run any kind of operations? No, because what do? I'll give you $5 or something. That's chump change. So again and again, the people do not support it, and you pay unbelievably high taxes. Where does the tax money go to? It goes to offshore tax havens for whatever scumbags are involved with the government. But Brian Mulroney was on the take, because that was the book. Stevie Cameron, the journalist, wrote it, On the Take, about Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. And the Karl-Heinz Schreiber affair, where he was getting kickbacks because Air Canada, government controlled, was buying airplanes, and kickback money was coming back to Brian Mulroney, the Prime Minister. Unbelievable, corrupt man. But his name is celebrated because you've got the one Mulroney kid on Entertainment Tonight, and you've got Carolyn Mulroney, who wants to be an Ontario politician. And they're a rotten family. Mulroney's name should be Mud, because it's a crime family. Well, you can see now, because the children of Brian Mulroney are still prominent in the public eye. And they're all fucking devils. They're the fruit of a devil's tree. The devil's spawn. What more does it take? I know, but you people have to stop looking the way it's always, and really. You've got defeatist attitude. You were defeated before you began. You're a defeated people. You're sheeple. And I see it all the time, because I still see people walking around. I'm going for a walk. I'm still wearing the fucking mask. In the middle of June. And there isn't even mask mandates. What the fuck is wrong with people? Wandering around on purpose wearing a fucking mask. I don't know, 5 years ago, that person was wearing a mask and walked into the Esso station. They would be the guy would pick the speed dial to the Thunder Bay Police, because that's what it would be. Because we saw how many videos about Max Mart being robbed by masked people. It was a crime, and people that wore masks, I don't know. I think it was actually a crime to wear a mask. It's somewhere in the old criminal code, because you do look like you're a burglar. Turd burglars, all of you fucking people now. Because you've just accepted the idea that that's normalized. And they used to show us and we'd laugh because the people in China would be shown wearing those fucking masks. Or the people in Japan. All the kids were forced to wear masks long before it was ever brought over here. And we all laughed and said, look at those stupid people. How on earth can you have, I don't know, 8-year-old children in Japan, all of them wearing these fucking masks? How the fuck do you breathe? Did God build your face so that you have a mask attachment on here like you're Darth fucking Vader? Go fuck off. Go fuck off with normalizing slavery. Because there was the meme on Instagram that said black slaves were forced to wear these kind of masks as a sign that they're a slave. So in essence then, when you go around and you go into Walmart and you wear these masks, it's very aggressive towards me. I feel violated. I feel raped. Because it's that movie They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper, and it's right here in Thunder fucking Bay. Because that's what that is. It's a horror to see these fucking people wandering around Walmart, insisting on wearing their fucking face mask. I can't help you out, that's the way I feel. You're not human. You're one of those things from They Live. Jimmy Steele. Jimmy Steele from They Live. What is Jimmy Steele? He's a robot. And he's got a robot arm, and he's about to use something called a sharp knife to kill you. Because that's what Jimmy Steels do. Satan, 150 on the scale of human consciousness. That's what it is, and that's what they are. They're beyond dangerous. And you got used to them and conditioned. In psychology, you call it conditioning. You get used to it. And you change the culture of Thunder Bay overnight. From people who think that this means, a mask means that you're a burglar, to now, this is the normal thing to do when you go to Walmart. Wear your fucking face mask. Previous generations in Thunder Bay would never do that. Yes, they would if they were told to do it, because they always follow what the news tells them to do. Because you're all sheeple. And I just proved it.